Hi everyone, welcome back, and this week I'm working on the Simplicity Sew Simple pattern 1638. Well, initially I wanted to make Simplicity 1463, but it is out of stock at my Joann's. It's been out of stock since it was released, I think in December. So looking at this pattern, and these are like the 99-cent ones that you could find if your Walmart carries Simplicity patterns, which I think most of them do. Looking at this pattern, it has the same type of dolman sleeve. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lengthen the sleeve and make it more thinner as you go down. So I decided to use, this is McCall's 6841. And you guys have seen the one that I made recently. I've decided to use the sleeve from this. So let me just grab it here. It's right behind me. Oops. All right. So this is what that sleeve looked like. And so I'm just going to add it to the pattern. And this is the pattern in the back here. I already traced the pattern on, this is that medical paper that when you go to the doctor, they roll out for you to sit on. My dad got me a few rolls, so whenever it's time for me to do any pattern adjustments or anything, I use that. I traced the original front pattern to this, and then all I did was put the other McCall's pattern. I just lined it up where the top of the shoulder is, and then down here, and then I traced it. This is where the original sleeve is, and this is where the new sleeve is. So yeah, I'm going to test this out on some muslin just to see how it works out, and if it works out okay, well then I'm gonna go forward with it, and if it's not, I'll just revisit it and I'll show you guys what happened. So after doing a test garment, the blouse looks okay. I wanted to test the sleeve and the hip area because those are the parts where I probably need to add more ease or take away ease, but this was fine. This sleeve, I don't want to get too close because you see the color changes when I get too close to the actual top. But yeah, the sleeve itself is like a bat wing. I cut off about 2.5 inches because I'm going to add that length back in the cuff. And now I'm going to serge it, and I will show you guys how the cuff works. So now it's time to add the cuffs to the sleeves. And so let me explain to you how I did this. So as I said before, I cut off 2.5 inches off of the length of the sleeve because I know I was going to add cuffs to bring back that length. These cuffs are 6 inches in length, and they are cut on the fold using the edge of the sleeve as the width. Okay, and as you can see here, that is the seam of the cuff, and you know, this is the seams of the sleeve of the blouse, and everything has to go back to match up with each other. Now, why did I do 6 inches? Well, I need the finished length of this cuff to be 2.5 inches. So it's going to be folded like this, and you will see in a little while. So 2.5 by 2 is 5 inches, and the additional inch is for the 1/2 inch seam allowance to attach the cuff to the sleeve. Of course, I could have done it 5/8, but a 1/2 inch just makes it easier for me to calculate. So I'm about to go at it right now. Once the cuffs are made, I'm going to fold it in half like this. Make sure those seams are open, and I am going to pin this top side, this edge, to the edge of the sleeve. So when it's time for you to attach the cuffs onto the blouse itself, you just make sure that the blouse is on the right side, as you see here. The cuffs are going to be on the right side after you fold it initially. You want to make sure that the seam of the cuff matches up with the armhole seam, which is the one that's going to run under your arm, basically, not the one that's going to be running on your shoulder. There's two seams to this blouse, and I want to make sure you put it the right place. And then you're going to make that seam. So as you can see, right side of top, this is the cuff, this is the seam. Then you're going to trim the edges, and then you're going to, you could do another stitch, a double stitch, and that is going to secure the seam so you don't have to serge here. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because you want to reduce bulk, and when I flip it over you're going to see why. So this is the right side of the sleeve on my arm. I tried it on so I could show you exactly what I'm talking about. This top is supposed to be, it's made to be kind of fitted at the arm so that you could get that bat wing effect. If there's too much of a seam in there, it's going to cause an imprint. I'm trying to figure out which word is the best word. It will cause an imprint on the cuff because the sleeve is close fitting. So yeah, you want to trim that as much as possible. I'm using the neck band that came with the pattern, so I'm about to go add this to the top right now. If you want to hear me explain how I do the neckline, just go back to my Vogue sweatshirt. I'll put the number of the episode here so you can check it out. This is the neckband attached to the neckline of the tee. It is attached on the right side of the garment, so of course the seam is going to be on the wrong side. I cut off about ½ inch of the neckband to make it fit, and it took me like about 2 different try-ons, which is to be expected. You really want to take the time to make sure your neckband fits properly on your neck, because that is one of the things that really shows you know, the difference between a well-made tee and something that looks more cheaper because it's not fitted properly. So let me go ahead and stitch this on the sewing machine and hit it with a couple blasts of steam on the iron to really seal that seam down, and I will show you how I'm gonna do the hem line of the tee. Now after I press the seam line of the neckband, not really press, more like just blasting it with steam, you know, pulling and steaming it really good. As you can see, it really helps to give you that nice finished look. I also finished it on the serger to close out those seams. For the hemline, I'm going to use this universal double or twin needle. They come in different sizes. That looks like this. But I'm going to use the smallest one. For those of you who have never used a twin needle before, it's very easy. You're threading the needle with the 2 threads as one. So it's going to go through together through the whole assembly. Once it gets down to this point here where the needle is supposed to be and the thread is supposed to be inserted into the needle, that's where it's going to separate. And now I'll show you how I did the hemline. I don't have a cover stitch serger, so the first thing I'm going to do is serge the raw edge of the hemline. Then I measure and pin the 5/8 seam allowance. Then I hand base down the hem to the edge, because what's going to happen is that I am going to stitch on the right side. So this hand basting stitch is going to be my guide to let me know I can't go over where these green stitches are. Always remember to do a swatch test of your stitches before you actually do the hem on the garment. So the stitches look good. It's time to start doing the hemline. So you're going to position your needle where you want it to go. Remember, the basting is to let you know you can't stitch over this line. And after that is done, you could take your time and remove your basting stitches. This is the end result. Very, very neat. This is the right side, and that is the wrong side. The bottom of it is just going to blend in with the actual finishing of the serger. It looks really neat. And this is the finished look. I know I'm going to make a couple more of these already because if it's great, it's going to become my new favorite tee. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. There's not really much I could say about the top itself. I'm trying to go a little quickly because it is about to snow again. Neckline, the back, close-up of the hemline. Alright, you guys, here comes the look of the day. For the second outfit from my winter-spring transition capsule, I paired up my new cobalt blue knit top with this leopard print double knit pencil skirt made from McCall 6654, and this is the look of the day. 2 easy to make pieces that I could wear year round. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will be back with another one soon.